Good morning. All right, today is going to be our last lesson for the week for reading. It's a skill lesson, and you are going to need your reader book, and there actually is a little story that goes with it, but we're not going to read it. We're just going to talk about this lesson, and there's a reason why. There's some pictures that you're going to need to look at. So get your reader book out and turn to page 19. You also need your work text on page 9. Now, I do not go to the library very often. I have, and I've taken my kids a few times, but I don't spend much time there because I've never really liked the library, to be honest with you. It's neat, it's cool, and all that, and it is important, but it changes with our technology. So much of it changes, and so there's this thing called a card catalog. Now, when I was a kid, I think we've talked about this before. We've had a lesson over the card catalog before. I remember in 4th grade reading we had one. The card catalog used to be literally a card. It was cards in this big thing that you would look up. Okay, and that's how you would be able to find a book. Okay, so basically what we're going to learn today are the 3 different ways, because today you don't have to go to the card catalog. It's all electronic. You just type it in and it takes you straight to it and you can find the book. So it's sort of out of technology and it's sort of not. But today it's so much easier to find. So let's go ahead and look at page 19 at the bottom. Now there's 3 different kinds of cards that you would use, but in our terminology, we wouldn't use cards, we would use just the internet, whatever little electronic thing that they use. But there's 3 different ways that you can find a book. It depends on the information that you have. Now, if you want to go to the library and find a book about snakes, you don't know which book, you don't have a particular book in mind, you just want to find a book about snakes. Okay, then that means that you're just going to type in the subject, snakes. And all the books about snakes would come up and tell you where to find them. Now, if you knew exactly the author of the book, you knew for sure you wanted to get a book written by, I don't even know that many authors, written by whoever, Jane Oliver. Okay, then that means that you would go to the author section, the author card, and you would type in the author's name. Every book that library has written by that author then would come up and show you where that's at. Okay? What if you didn't know the author and you really didn't care about the subject, but you knew the name of the book you wanted? You want to read The Pilgrim's Progress. And so you'd go in and you would type the name of the book. That's the title card. Okay, so like I said, it just depends on what kind of information you have, what you know. Okay, so we have subject cards. Now, look at page 19. You see that subject card at the bottom? So here's what it has. Now, the subject card in the top left corner has the word horses. That's the subject that you're going to look up. Okay, then right under that, it's got 636.1. That's just the number that would be on the spine of the book. That's how they organize it. And then it has the author's name, okay? And then it has the title of the book, Horses and Ponies by Julie Richardson, illustrated by blah, blah. And then it tells about it, gives the ISBN number, and then it has a bunch of other numbers on it. Okay, look at page 20. There's an author card, and there's a title card. Again, it depends on what information you know. Do you know the name of the book? Do you know the author? Okay, if you don't know those, then what subject do you want to look at? So it depends on what you know or maybe what you don't know as to what you're going to type in and what you're going to find out. Now, on page 21 at the top, it talks about call numbers. Now, call numbers are going to be the numbers in the left-hand corner. That's basically how the library finds the book, the call numbers. It's kind of how they organize their information. Let's see. Then you've got your different sections of the library. You've got juvenile fiction. Juvenile means kids. Okay, so let's see. Let's leave your book open because I think we have to use that subject card on page 19. Look at page 9 in your work text at the same time. You'll need both of these out. All right. At the top of page 9, it says, look at the author catalog card on reader page 20. Okay, so we need to go to page 20, not 19. Page 20, there's an author card. You see on page 20 in your reader book, the author card. Okay, we're going to use that author card to answer the questions. On number 1, what is the call number for this book? Okay, the call number is going to be FHEN. That's going to be the second one. It's B. And I'm going to try to find that. Okay, on the author card, look at the very top. You see the F, the top left, and then right under that HEN. Okay, that's their call number. That's kind of how they have that book organized. F, hen. Now what that means, the F means fiction, and HEN, that's the first 3 letters of the last name of the author. Okay, fiction by Marguerite Henry. So F, hen. Number 2, who is Wesley Dennis? Well, let's see. It says Stormy Misty's Foal, Marguerite Henry, illustrated by Wesley Dennis. So Wesley Dennis is C, the illustrator. Okay, number 3. In which section of the library would you find this book? Well, the F in the call number, I told you that means fiction, so it would be A. Fiction means not true. Number 4, in which drawer, we don't use this anymore, in which drawer of the card catalog would you find this card? Okay, so it's going to be in alphabetical order by the author's last name. The author's last name, because it's an author card, so we go by the author's last name. Her last name is Henry, H-E-N. So would it be between the A and the A-V? No. The G-R to the H-A? No. It would be C. Her last name would be between H-E and I-B. Okay, so it would be C. It would just be in alphabetical order. Okay? All right. Do you see the computer screen there on page 9, right in the center? Okay, we're going to use the computer screen to answer the 4 questions here at the bottom. Okay? Which number will help you locate the book? It's going to be the call number at the very bottom on the left-hand side. You see that 636.7BOO? Okay? So it's going to be C. That's what's going to help us find the book in the library. Number 2, 1981 is the year that the, what? Look up there and see where, 1981, that's the year it was published. So that's going to be A. Number 3, who's the author of this book? A, Wendy Borer. It says at the very, very top. Number 4, in which section of the library would you find this book? Let's see, this would be, let's see, well, doesn't say, but we know it would be found in the nonfiction because it's a book about dogs, caring for dogs. I don't know where you would find that, but it would be nonfiction, so the answer is C. All right, look at the next page, page 10. Now, right here at the top, there's 4 problems. Somebody has a problem, and we're going to have to write in the type of card and what they would look for. Okay, so I'm going to get my thing right here. Woo, I don't want it that big. Okay. All right, so the first problem. Lauren likes to read about unusual fish. So she likes to read about fish. So what kind of card would she need? Would she need an author card, a subject card, or a, let's see, author card, subject card, or title card? Well, she likes to read about unusual fish, so that would be a subject card. So you're going to write that underneath the type of card because her subject is just fish, unusual fish. Okay? So what would she look for? Fish. That would be the subject that she would look for because you can't really look up unusual. because everything under the sun would come up. Okay, so those are the two answers there on the first problem. Okay, number 2, or the next one. Mrs. Johansson needs to find the book Robinson Crusoe. Okay, so she knows the name of the book, so she's going to need a title card. She knows the name of the book. That's the title, so she needs a title card. Okay, and what would she look for? Robinson Crusoe. And that would actually need to be underlined, but I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I can't do that, but yes, this would need to be underlined because that's the name of the book. Okay, the next one. Juanita would like to read more books by Elizabeth Yates. Okay, so she doesn't know the subject, doesn't care about the subject, she doesn't really have a title, but she needs an author card because she just wants to find books written by that author. And she would look up Elizabeth Yates, but actually it would be the other way around. You would always look it up by the last name, Yates. Okay, and then she'd find Elizabeth, but you'd want to look up Yates. You always look it up by the last name. All right, now, the last one, the last problem on here says, are there any books about robots in the library? Jesse wonders. All right, so what type of card would he need? That's a subject. He didn't know the author, and he didn't know the name of the book. He just knows the subject, which is robots, and that's what he would look up. Okay? So that goes in the top up there. Okay? Now, I would like for you to pause this as you do the same thing on the bottom. And then we'll go over that and see how well you did it. I'm not going to grade it. I don't even need to see it. I just want to check it with you, okay? So go ahead and pause it and see if you can finish that at the bottom. All right, so on the first one, you could have either put title or author because both of them were there. And he would look for either the Buffalo Trace or Virginia S. Efort, or just Efort, or Efort. Okay? The second one would be an author and Rudyard Kipling, or just Kipling. The next one would be title, The 100 Dresses, which would be underlined because it's the name of a book. And the last one would be subject, Utah. Okay? All right, well, that completes our reading for the week, and that's all for today. No assignment.